The South Dakota Property Rights and Local Control Alliance, SDPRLCA, thanks you for participating in our 2026 primary legislative candidate video survey. As a nonpartisan grassroots organization, SDPRCLA is dedicated to protecting private property rights and maintaining local authority. Following the 2024 general election, where 65 of 66 South Dakota counties voted no on Referred Law 21, voters are eager to hear where the 2027 legislative class stands on these core issues. So we've got a couple ground rules for the questionnaire here. So we invite you to introduce yourself for a minute and a half, and then we've got 5 questions, and we have 2 minutes per question, and then a closing statement for 2 minutes after that. And then you can log off the call when you're done. Okay, all 5 questions will focus specifically on property rights and local control. And I guess you've had the questions in advance, so you can think about answers. And our recordings will be posted on our Facebook page, YouTube channel, and the website. So I'd like you to introduce yourself to the voters, and please tell us about your background, your connection to your district, and what specific conviction or event led you to step forward and run for the South Dakota legislature in 2026.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kathy.
Hi, I'm Kathy Rice. I am the current representative in the House of District 29 running for a re-election. I've served 2 years so far in South Dakota legislature, and my background is I'm a mother of 8. I have 6 boys and 2 girls, and I've been involved in schools and trying to be an advocate for parents, for parental rights, and being a liaison between the school and the parents, because sometimes they tell you things that aren't quite true. So I just say, well, they say that, so I just help them out, because having 8 kids and having them in public school and doing homeschooling some, and, all my boys did Eagle Scouts. And so, I'm kind of a parent that will push them to college and, make sure that our kids are doing well. And we have some wonderful kids in our schools. And I just want to make sure that they have the parents know what's going on with what's happening in our schools. So that got me involved a long time ago. And I'm a business owner. I own 2 small businesses. I've been running a dental office for 20 some years or plus, on and off, with raising a family. And then I started
that sauce without the spaghetti.
Somebody else is on there. But also let's see, my cousin is a rancher here in South Dakota, and that kind of brought us here to South Dakota from Colorado. And I'm just trying to prevent our state from going. I don't want it to go blue. It needs to be red, and it doesn't need to go purple. So it's really important that we have good people in there. And what caused me to run is what the votes were going with my district, and he was voting for, the property to be, he was voting for the pipeline. And I said, no. So we tried to find somebody good, and I couldn't find anybody that would step up. So I did. And so that's why I'm here.
Well, very good. Thank you very much, Kathy.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get right into the first question, which is district specific. What do you identify as the primary property rights issue in your district, and what is your single most serious concern regarding it, such as resource depletion, loss of local control, or unintended consequences?
Probably all 3 of those, but what we have here in District 29, Meade County, we don't have zoning, and so they don't have to go through the zoning. They just get a license through Pierre to do mining and things like that. There's not zoning. So our problem that we're having here is blasting and ruining our homes. And so there is a company that's coming in that really, I think they could do blasting better. There's better techniques, and I don't think they care. And so that's the unintended consequences of these people's foundation. Their decks are falling off, and things are happening to their homes that we need to help them with their property rights. And from companies that aren't doing it correctly and and so that's something we're trying to do, a special zoning here in Meade County for the hills, so we don't have bald spots everywhere because they tear down all our trees. Um, what else is going on here in Meade County? Um, those are the biggest thing here out in Piedmont is that mining for the on the hills. And so they were the people are worried about uh, their water contamination. They're worried about um, they're worried about their air control, and they're worried about noise, and their house falling apart, so they have some worries. So we try to help them this year with some bills, and we got it through committee thanks to my help, but then we didn't get it through on the floor. So but we got further than any other time. There's always a mining bill going through Pier every year about property rights.
Okay, well, thank you. Question 2 is action plan. What specific legislative action or policy change would you champion to address this issue?
Well, I think our action plan now is we have a coalition of people that are trying to get the special zoning going. We have people going there's a meeting tonight in Piedmont about trying to get to make sure mining's 100, more out of where people live, because they're doing it right next to schools. They're doing it right next to um, certain parts of the area where people have had their land for 150 years, and they're taking that they're just going right through. They're letting the roads of the big trucks go right through their roads, and their roads are going to be trashed, and so they have some concerns. So what we're doing is we start a coalition. We're talking to the counties, to the county, and to the cities, and seeing what zoning or what rights they have with trying to do it locally. I don't know if we have um, anything to stop what's going on with the license that they already got, but we need to get the special zoning so we don't continue on to more areas of our county. So that's what's happening right now, is the coalition of people getting together and fighting, just like we did with the 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 pipeline.
Okay, very good. So you're not only are you working in peer, but you're focusing at the local level also.
Absolutely. Yep.
Question 3 is core components. Property rights involve the right to possess, control, exclude, enjoy, and dispose. How is the right to exclusion at risk from state mandates in your district, and how will you protect it?
Well, exclusion, um, I don't think they want zoning in our district. They've tried to bring back that. So that one's going to be really pretty hard. That's why we're going to try to do a special zoning. I don't know if I'm answering your question. Can you repeat that again too, so I can make sure I get that one?
Okay, sure. Property rights involve the right to possess, control, exclude, enjoy, and dispose. How is the right to exclusion, or the right to say that other people can't come on your property, at risk from state mandates in your district? And how will you protect it? So it's basically asking, what is the state doing that is threatening people's right to keep other people off their property?
Yeah, well, what the state is doing is they're letting trucks go through their roads that they're paying for, because like in my area, I pay for my road. some of the other areas, the people pay for the roads. It's not sometimes the city pays for it, but mine is an incorporated city, so we pay for our own roads. The but they shouldn't have any right to go to your property if you say no. They shouldn't have any right to tap into any of your wells, to get in any of, any right to, there shouldn't be any, they shouldn't have any rights to, if it's your property, you have the right to say no. You should have the right to say, we don't want this. And this is my property that I am, you can't come. I mean, there's people that are allowing it. They say, yes, I'll let them do it. So that's what the problem is. There's some people are saying yes, but some people are saying no. And so it's a consequence. And for the people that are saying no, next to the people are saying yes, then they still have trucks and still have things happening that they're concerned about, the quality of air and things like that doesn't have a boundary line, just property.
Right. Okay. Okay. Very good. Thank you. Question 4 is on eminent domain. Under what specific circumstances, if any, do you believe eminent domain should be used for projects owned by private corporations?
Private corporations should not have any eminent domain. That is only for, we know exactly what eminent domain's for, and it's not for private property and private businesses and private entities. It should never be allowed to have eminent domain.
Okay, very good.
No.
Local control. Describe a scenario in which local control is not enough protection.
The mining that's going on in Piedmont in Meade County, and that's what we need to work on. Is Meade County doesn't want zoning, and so we need to get a special zoning for the people that are having issues with this mining near their home, and making sure that they have their property rights protected and their air quality and their water and things like that. So that's what's going on here in this part of South Dakota.
Okay, very good. So it almost seems like it's not that local control is not enough. There's kind of a lack of local control, basically.
Well, yeah, there's no zoning. So they just go get their license for $100 to come and blast near homes and schools and we just think, well, can't we be good neighbors? Can't you go out a few? I mean, we got that kind of stone everywhere in the hills. Why do you have to do it near there? So we just don't understand it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Kathy. So in closing, as we head toward the June 2nd primary, it's vital that voters know how to reach their potential representatives. For our final 2 minutes, please let the folks in District 29 know how they can contact you directly, where they can pick up a sign to show their support, how they can join your team as a volunteer, and how to give donations.
Okay. You can contact me directly by calling me. That's the best way. My phone number is 605-389-4328. You can find my number if you didn't get that down on my Facebook page, which is Kathy Rice for District 29, or you can find me in my at South Dakota Legislator, Kathy Rice at South Dakota Legislator.gov. I have my phone number, my business number there. And my website is kricefor29.com. And that's where you can learn a little bit more about me, and you can donate and you can volunteer. And I have signs at my home. If anybody wants some, I can either bring them your way or I can get them, I could have them here for them to pick up. I live in Blackhawk, so.
Okay, very good. So how close are you to this mining? Is it affecting you at all, or no?
I'm not too far from it. It's across the I-90 and up about 5 miles.
Okay, okay. Okay, so you can probably hear the blasting sometimes or not?
Well, the blasting right now is not happening here in Piedmont. It's happening in Blackhawk and down further south of me or east of me. So that is happening in Pennington County, where people's homes are, their decks are falling out. And that's why we're concerned, because it hasn't started yet in Piedmont and we're trying to get ahead of it before it starts, but we'll see what we can do.
Okay, okay, very good. Well, thank you so much for giving us your time tonight, Kathy.
Absolutely. Thank you for being up on this property rights and being up on intimate domain, for private gain. That is just, we can't have it here in South Dakota. So thank you.